welcome to another episode of Business Time. My name is Kemini Amano. In this week's episode, we want to water down the regulations guarding our financial sector. We want to know who the players are, where to go when we have problems with one financial institution or the other. We'll also bring you the commodities and forex market activities. We'll bring you your investment tips for the week. We'll also bring you a news roundup for this week. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Uncle, please, can I check my number?
Okay. Wow! Give me! You have won the ultimate prize, a brand new car.
What? A car?
Yes, a car, not a toy car. This is the key to your car. Wait, call your daddy.
Okay.
All right. So you see, he has won a car, but there are 4 more cars to be won, plus other amazing prizes and many more in the Giant Malt Open and Win promotion from July to October 2016. Just buy a can of Giant Malt, open a lid, and the number you find under it, voila, you can go to any Romani distributor or Royal Boat depots to redeem your prizes instantly. Giant Malt Open and Win promotion. Onapo, terms and conditions apply.
You're welcome back. Thank you very much for choosing Business Time. My name is Kemini Amano. The program is brought to you by Giant Malt and powered by the Business and Financial Times newspaper, Africa's leading provider of credible business information. It's supported by World Vision Financial Services, Nalem Clothing, and Jubin House of Beauty. Now, before we get into our conversation on the financial sector, let's hit the news desk and find out what's been making news.
The Cashew Industry Association of Ghana has said that a fundamental problem of the country's cashew sector is the absence of regulatory framework and body to manage, control, and sustainably grow the sector. Private sector actors in the industry are hopeful a draft policy, which is being fine-tuned when fully implemented, will be an opportunity and serve as a guideline for the industry players and members to use the document.
In this week's episode, we want to discuss the healthiness of our financial sector. David Wako, who is here with us in the studio, is Chief Executive for World Vision Financial Services. He'll help us understand how healthy financial regulation or the financial environment is at the moment as we, move on as a country. You're welcome to the program, Mr. Wako. Right now, you are no longer a guest. You are a part of the program. You're a host of the program as well. In case you didn't know, David Wako brings us the investment tips, which you see in the course of the program. But right now, let's talk about the financial sector. As far as you're concerned, what would be your overview of our financial regulations at the moment? How healthy is our financial sector?
Talking from a technical point of view, I believe Ghana, we are doing very well as far as the structure of the financial sector is concerned. And the regulators are doing their best to, as well as lawmakers, put in enough acts to strengthen the financial sector. So I would say the sector is doing very well. The structure is really following a global trend, which is acceptable everywhere.
How do all of these regulators work together to ensure the sanity of the financial sector?
Yes, that's a good question. There is a collaboration between the regulators. For example, when we talk about the central bank licenses or provide regulatory services to commercial banks, some non-bank financial institutions such as microfinance. We have forest bureaus, we have rural banks, we have leasing companies, we have mortgage companies, and some other financial institutions which are regulated by the central bank. For example, the central bank, if you are licensed to operate a commercial bank which we now call universal banking license. When you have this universal banking license, you are allowed to do so many things under the financial sector. A commercial bank can have a subsidiary that does an investment bank activities, or can have a subsidiary that does an insurance activity. So in regulating these institutions under that one commercial bank, there's a need for the regulators to collaborate together when looking at this institution's performance. So there's a kind of internal or backdoor collaboration between the regulators when necessary.
How well do you think that they are performing those duties of collaborating, you know, to make things work in the financial sector?
I think they are doing well, but there's more room for improvement as well.
What should they improve?
As we know, the world is developing at a very fast rate than you can imagine. For example, commercial banks they are open to improve their services by any way, by using any up-to-date technology. So as the commercial banks or institutions improve on their technology, the regulator also needs to be matching that, because the regulator used to, maybe in beginning, we used to do manual regulations. They go to the on-site, that is in the premises of the commercial banks, to look into their books. If you have not prepared, the next time you go, the commercial bank says, we no more use notebooks now. We are now using our transactions on computer. If you have not prepared to meet that system, don't understand the software they use and the way to check it, it could be a point of the institution being ahead of the regulator. So the regulators also must always be matching technology and other strategies that the institutions are trying to adopt in doing their businesses. So we can improve day in, day out.
What are the implications if the regulators are not able to match up with the technology of the sector?
Definitely there will be a gap if you do not match up. There will be a gap, and that gap, you have no idea what it could create. It could be a positive or negative effect. So the regulator always need to match up with that gap. If possible, always be ahead of the institutions they regulate.
I know you have said that they are doing quite well in terms of, protecting the financial sector. There are those who are of the opinion that the country's financial sector seems to predispose it to the activities of money launderers, because there really are not checks on how people make their money. There are no checks on, where you're getting your money from to fund your business. The checks are not really there. What do you think? You're a player in that sector. What do you think?
I really differ from that. Maybe those who say that do not really receive or transfer money these days. Because if you receive any money into your account, how you even struggle to get it. Some of us are even of the opinion that the regulators are even being too stringent, which is not working swiftly for businesses to function very well because of this check on the money laundering. I mentioned FIC, the Financial Intelligence Center. If you receive any money beyond a certain limit, even up to a level of $5,000 consistently from a particular source, you need to disclose into details how fast or how credible the institution that transferred the money to you, what is the purpose of this money. And sometimes, because of the regulation lapses or maybe the individuals behind some of this thing, it delays business. You will be surprised, the other day I transferred only $5,000 to US because of these regulations. It used to take a day for my friend that I transferred the money to get the money in account. It took him 3 weeks.
It took 3 weeks?
3 weeks for the money to be put into his account, both the internal check and outside checks. So that is how cumbersome or how stringent the regulations of money transactions are in these days. So if anybody said it is loose for money laundering, I beg to differ from that. I think we need to look at it. We need to see how swiftly we can work with this institution, or the institutional or the regulators must really look into it so that their activities do not deter or create demerit to business.
We'll come back to that conversation. We're watching Business Time. We are discussing financial regulation in this country. We are looking at the various institutions that protect the financial sector as we have in this country. We're having this conversation with CEO of Wealth Vision Financial Services, David Wako. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Uncle, please, can I check my number?
Okay. Wow! Gimme! You have won the ultimate prize, a brand new car.
What? A car?
Yes, a car, not a toy car. This is the key to your car. Wait, call your daddy.
Okay.
All right. So you see, he has won a car, but there are 4 more cars to be won, plus other amazing prizes and many more in the Giant Malt Open and Win promotion from July to October 2016. Just buy a can of Giant Malt, open a lid, and the number you find under it, voila, you can go to any Romani distributor or Royal Boat depots to redeem your prizes instantly. Giant Malt Open and Win promotion. Onapo, terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. At this stage of the conversation, we want to talk about the roles of these financial institutions. We've looked at how they can come together to protect the financial sector, but what are their individual roles? If you have a problem as far as finances are concerned, which of these regulators could you turn to? If any of the sub-financial institutions with the players in the industry have offended you in any way, if you like, for lack of a better word. David, let's take the financial institutions and their roles. What are they?
Okay. So quickly, let's look at it. Let me start from the institutions under Bank of Ghana or the central bank. We have majorly the commercial banks. It's interesting, once you mention the commercial banks, people...
You think of Ghana Commercial Bank.
Think of Ghana.
You think of Ghana.
I remember that I was on a panel interviewing some people when I was in Bank of Ghana, and I asked a question, can you give me 3 or 4 commercial banks in Ghana? Then the young lady started by Sprinters Road Commercial Bank.
Oh my goodness, especially the branches.
The branches. So we need to understand, when we say commercial banks, all the banks we see in the country, especially the major banks, are called commercial bank. Those that are not commercial banks, they are called either rural banks or community banks or something else. So when you see commercial banks, we say commercial banks. And in fact, the license they have, like I said, is called Universal Banking License now, which allows them to do things even beyond the commercial banking activity. We used to have various banks formerly, if you remember. We have merchant banks, we have development banks.
Indeed.
If you remember your O-level or lower level economics or whatever. We have those various, but now we put all together so they are allowed to perform these functions. But you see, one secret about the financial sector is commercial banks and some financial institutions are really framed to perform activities of the financial market. If you say financial market, these are people who are supposed to turn around money, cash, which we describe in technical terms are liquid, in products or securities that can easily be convertible to cash. So they remain to play in the financial sector. Things that will turn money quickly, you invest into something, the person pay back quickly. So commercial banks are really designed to provide things we call bridge financing, things that can give you money to do quick business and you return it. They are supposed to take deposits. They are supposed to open their doors to take deposits from institutions as well as individuals. And they are also supposed to, they can do investment on behalf of their clients. They can also accept payments on behalf of their clients. They can clear their customers' checks through other banks and receive it into their account. They open account, various form of account, current account, savings account, investment accounts, fixed deposit accounts, and all kind of accounts for both institutions as well as individuals. Commercial banks are also allowed to take custody of valuables. Many people don't know this. If you have valuable jewelry, you can pack it nicely and send it to your commercial bank. They will keep it for you.
That's a common practice in Ghana.
That is what I'm saying. Many people are not aware of that. If you have gold bars, you can send it to commercial bank. They will keep it for you. As and when you need it, you go back for it and pay a little fee. So these are some of the functions.